Good evening, everyone. I'm Genevieve Srinivasan. I'm the program director at Emory, and I want to welcome you all to joining us this night. Thank you so much. I'm going to give you a brief overview of how we're going to run the session this evening, and we'll get going. So we're going to start off with some introductory remarks from some of our key faculty members. We have a number of them on the line, and I'll introduce them one at a time. And around 6:30, we're going to break into some rooms. So even though we're recording the session right now, the breakout rooms will not be recorded at all. It will give you all an opportunity to interact with some of our residents in 2 of the rooms and the faculty in the other rooms. So I just want to start off by introducing the faculty who are going to be with us tonight. So I mentioned I'm Genevieve Srinivasan, the program director, born and raised in Texas. Don't hold that against me if you're an anti-Texan. Went to college and medical school at Northwestern and came down here for residency and stayed forever. So hopefully that's a rousing endorsement of the place. We have with us tonight our chair, Dr. John Sweeney, our associate chair, current interim chief of surgery at Grady, and prior program director, immediately predecessor to me, Dr. Keith Delman, our director of extramural studies and surgical oncologist, Dr. Michael Lowe, our medical clerkship director, pediatric surgeon extraordinaire, Dr. Barbara Pettit. And then additional faculty on the line with us tonight are Dr. Ravi Rajani, who's our vascular surgeon situated down at Grady and associate program director, Dr. Alfred Shaheen, pediatric surgeon and vice chair of education, Dr. Jonathan Mizell, one of our pediatric surgeons at the Children's Hospital, who works extensively with medical student education and interfacing with our residents, and Dr. Alameda Alabi, one of our vascular surgeons situated primarily at the VA, who also works heavily in medical student and resident education. So I think I'd like to start off with some introductory remarks from Dr. Sweeney to get things going.
Genevieve, can you hear me okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, good. Well, I was having some technical difficulties earlier, so thanks for that. Thanks for the kind introduction. And I just really quickly want to welcome everybody to this call. And this is a unique. We've not done something like this before, and you know, these times require us to pivot and to become, if you will, flexible in terms of you know, how we progress through this. We you know, I really want to welcome you, you know, virtually to Emory, and you know, hope that you enjoy the evening tonight. You know, we're extremely proud of our training program, both in terms of the diversity of experiences that are available for our trainees in a clinical arena, but also in terms of investigations and other experiences that you might be able to obtain. But also we're incredibly proud of the people that are here. And I think it's that combination, again, the diversity of experiences coupled with the people, both the faculty and our trainees, that I think make this a very special program, a very special place, and a place I'm very proud of. And so and I'm looking forward to, one of the things I really enjoy about the interview process is having the time to meet candidates. It's really, you know, provides me that the juice, the uplift to keep, you know, get out of bed and get to work the next day because of you're so exciting and bright and talented. But it's also what we went into this business for as well. And so I'm looking forward to, you know, meet with you as possible, and then further on as we go through the interview process in the fall and early winter. So again, welcome to Emory, virtually that is, and again, glad you're here with us tonight.
And I should mention, on top of Dr. Sweeney's million other jobs, he was our prior division chief of general surgery and minimally invasive surgeon, still very active operatively. All right, Keith, you're up. Dr. Delman, our prior program director, and wears a million hats now.
Thanks, Dr. Srinivasan. I want to echo Dr. Sweeney's welcome as well. I think that these are obviously unique and challenging times for everyone. And as this is a first for all of you, it's a first for all of us. And I want to thank Marianne Garcia and Vanetta Green and the entire education team for working remarkably hard at ensuring that we do this as effectively as possible. But the truth of the matter is that this is one of the things that I think we have learned over time is one of our strengths, and that is to pivot and evolve and be nimble. And it's odd to use that phrase sort of in the world of surgery, where surgeons tend to be very staid in their ways, and certainly they thrive on surgical history and dogma a lot of the time. But in fairness, I think that there are a few things that are worth highlighting about this program. I think that Dr. Srinivasan brings a remarkable energy, enthusiasm, and passion for education, for simulation, and for innovation. And if Emory ends up being the right place for any of you who are on this evening, I think you'll find that that's one of the most exciting things about it. Emory itself, the surgery program, I was recruited here in 2005, and like Dr. Srinivasan and many others on this call, I did not leave once I came. And I would say to you, it would be dishonest to say that when I got here, I thought that this would be my always job, but it's turned out to be exactly that. Phenomenal group of people, a phenomenal institution, a phenomenal department supportive of the educational mission. The fact that there are so many faculty on the call tonight is a testimony to the commitment that the department has demonstrated towards the residency program as a flagship component of the department. We have some remarkable faculty, some innovative programs. We have some of the most robust clinical care you'll ever hear about. But I think what's amazing as a person who's passionate about education is the dedication that our leadership has shown towards the training programs that we have in our department. And I think that's a real privilege to work in a place like that. And what that has allowed us to do is really be innovative in the world of education. We have traditionally and continue to recognize that we try very hard to recruit individuals and to train individuals who have a common theme. And I think that we've pursued over the past decade and a half or so, and will continue to pursue opportunities where we can allow individuals to thrive and grow as individuals, but at the same time have a common set of core values, which include things like patients are our priority. Caring for another human being is something that's highly valued. And so I think when you put all of those things together, it gives you who Emory really is. The opportunity to be yourself, but in the context of those commonalities that we think are valuable in being clinicians and healthcare providers in an environment where the world is rapidly evolving. One of the things I think makes us nimble is that we have a number of clinical sites that you'll hear about over the course of time, but also that we're open to innovative ideas provided to us by our own trainees. Some of our strongest programs have come when someone has asked, hey, can I do this? And I think the strengths that you'll see in this program go far beyond what you'll see in other institutions with similar clinical volumes and similar breadth of care, but go and accentuate the ideas and visions and dreams of our trainees themselves, and some of our faculty too. And so one of the things that I enjoyed most when I was program director is that I think there were very few times, and the residents will sell me out on this, so I probably did say no more often than I think I did, but I don't think there were many times where I said no to an idea of doing something innovative and different. And that's been and that has allowed us to really grow some remarkably unique experiences for our trainees and really lead in the world of surgery and surgical education new and novel ideas. So, John, I'll turn it back to you.
That's great, Keith. And I think it leads really nicely in to an introduction for Dr. Lowe, who also is, in a sense, institutionalized. He at least escaped for a fellowship to go to Memorial Sloan Kettering. But one of the things that I'm really grateful to Dr. Delman about this program is, and a way it changed pretty dramatically from the time I was training, is that he and Dr. Sweeney really put a priority in increasing the number of residents who had opportunities to go out into the lab through funding from the department, as well as their own grants. And Dr. Lowe works tirelessly to help guide residents who are interested in extramural activities. He'll meet with you starting in his intern year. So Mike, if you wouldn't mind taking over and giving a little description to everyone about how that works.
Sure, I'd be happy to. Thank you, Dr. Srinivasan. You and Dr. Delman have essentially said everything that I need to say. I will expand a bit to say that one of the most enjoyable and meaningful experiences of my residency was the 2 years that I spent in the Emory Transplant Center doing preclinical work in an animal model of diabetes. I do nothing with animal models or diabetes today, but it was a profound experience in terms of assisting my approach to clinical care, despite the fact that I'm a surgical oncologist. It was because of Dr. Dodson previously and Dr. Delman also previously now, who afforded the opportunity for me and other residents like me to really shape the way that I spent my research time. So there is a tremendous focus in this program on being successful researchers, despite the fact that the majority of your time will be spent becoming proficient clinicians and surgeons. And so as Dr. Srinivasan alluded to it, it's my responsibility to make sure that each of you are thinking about how to expand your skill set as it relates to research. And for some of you, that will be a single longitudinal research project with an advisor or a mentor. And for some of you, it will be dedicated research time. And so you and I get to discuss what opportunity works best for you and your career plans. And so as Dr. Srinivasan said, we'll meet early and often to help you decide that. And I can attest to the opportunities that await you. Dr. Delman nicely stated that the world is essentially your oyster, and we will do everything in our power to make it happen. Current and former residents have rotated at elite international academic institutions, programs in the American College of Surgeons, international experiences in underserved countries, and then remarkably beneficial experiences here at Emory, first and foremost. And so I encourage you to take some time in your